Good afternoon, beautiful people. How's everyone doing today? It is a frosty kind of day here in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. Let's see the trees. A lot of frost on them. Makes everything look so pretty. There you go. See over here on this tree. You can see the little berries hanging off the tree. The frost. Isn't that pretty? It's such a pretty little picture. Oh. Well, today has been kind of a hectic day. I was really busy all day. I had to go into my work and get the papers ready to sign so I can get some money coming into my house. So thank you to Joanne Wilson who sat down and helped me fill out the paperwork. Still really can't see. You might say, how am I uploading the video? But I'm not really editing. I'm just shooting and then hitting the button and uploading it that way. It's nothing being edited out. That's why, folks, you're not hearing no music. It's because I'm just talking directly to you. And to go in and edit it and add music, I just can't see to do that right now. So you have to forgive me for that, please. So, yeah, I got the papers signed and had to take them down to the doctor, and now she has to sign them. And then we gotta bring it back and fax it off, but it's gonna take her till next week before she can do the paperwork. That's it, folks. When you're waiting on other people, you can't do things yourself and you can't rush it along. That's what life is, right? So anyway, I went down to the bank this morning to let them know what was all going on and all that, because I don't want to be in trouble with my mortgage. And then I come to find out that an insurance premium through my mortgage that I've been paying for the last 25 years. And you may think, oh, well, you should have your house paid off. But, you know, when life happens and divorce happens and stuff, things don't always go as planned or what you think, and so then you have to redo things and stuff. But since we had purchased the house, I was paying $50 a week for this disability and death insurance thing. That if anything were to ever go wrong and a disability occurred, well, then the mortgage would be looked after. And if I died, well, then the house would be paid off. Oh, yeah. So I went in to see about the disability thing today. And, well, since I've had the mortgage has come up for renewal. And then, of course, I had to change it when my husband left, and I had to put it directly into my name. So it's been renewed and redone a couple different times. And so like when we first went and bought it, of course, there was no sickness. I never had no sickness. I was as healthy as a fiddle, fit as a fiddle, kind of speak, and never had nothing wrong with me, and certainly no diabetes or anything like that. And So the question on the insurance paper is, do you have any medical conditions? And back then I could say no, no, no. Each time I renewed, I could say no, no, no. And the last time, a couple years ago, when it was up for renewal and I had to renew, I had to say, well, right now I've been told I'm a type 2 diabetic. So I listed it down, and so when I went down now today to see if about this disability insurance that I've been paying into for the past 25 almost years, I come to find out that they may not honor it. I have written it down. Yeah, I have this condition, but it may not be applied to me. So, but the bank guy, he said, you had the mortgage long before you ever had the condition, so we can check it and make sure and see, but they could deny your claim. Folks, isn't that just like insurance? I mean, on my house, I paid insurance premium for years to a company called Millennial Insurance out of Edmonton, Sherwood Park, and paid premium and never ever late with my premiums, always on time, and never had a claim. I had one claim, and that was the year after Fort McMurray wildfire, and my roof got torched, and I had to redo the roof. And, when the insurance adjuster came around, she said, well, you can claim for cleaning your house, you can claim and get new fridges and stoves. And I said, well, my fridge and my stove works. Everything is fine. You can claim for your loss of food. And I said, well, I never lost no food. Everything is all good. And all my neighbors down my street, they all put out their fridges and their stoves and their deep and their microwaves even, and deep freezers. I didn't put out none of that. I didn't claim the cleaning. I guess I was a fool. Should have. I claimed for my roof, and that was it. And there was many more here on the street here that had to claim for their roofs and stuff around. And so anyway, last year when my insurance became due for the year, they raised it from I was paying around $2,000 a year up to over $8,000 a year, and I just about died, I gotta tell you, when I seen it. So therefore I had to go hunting for a new insurance company, and found one. But my insurance premiums are still high. I used to pay $185 a month with my house and my vehicle. And now I'm paying $443 a month just for my house, not even including my vehicle, and my vehicle payment's $143 a month. And I laughed because the insurance company I'm dealing with now said, well, if you put your vehicle with us, your payments will be a bit less. So I went down to check that out. But then they were going to increase my insurance on my vehicle, which meant instead of paying $143 a month, they wanted $173 a month. So to make a $20 drop on my house insurance, it didn't make sense. So I said, that's okay. My truck insurance can stay exactly where it is. Just leave it there where it is. So, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think insurance companies are the biggest scams out there. Scam, scam, scam. That's all it is. Well, there's lots of scams out there. That's one of them. You know, years ago, a true story, you know how you get those people goes around and sells you a vacuum cleaner, and then they put you with one of those stupid companies, finance companies. Well, we seen this Kirby vacuum, and well, we really liked it, and it was a shampooer and cleaner, and you know, our kids were small, and so we decided to get one. And we're going along for over a year, and everything is fine. And then my husband got laid off. And so here we were, short without funds, and just trying to really make ends meet. And we got behind a couple months on the Kirby vacuum cleaner to this finance company. So the finance company took us to court. They wanted to recover their money. But in the meantime, before the court date ever happened, we end up catching up on the bills and all that. He got back to work. We caught all up on the bills, and we had, by this time, we were over payment. So, but we still had to go to court. So when we went to court, the judge looked at the girl, and he said, why is this in my court? He said, these people, he said, have caught up on their bills, and he said, and they're overpaid now. And she said, well, but they didn't, and they were way behind. And he said, yeah, but he said they're caught up. So he said, why have you brought this, he said, to my courtroom? And she said, well, they were behind. He said, yeah, but he said they're caught up. So he looked at us, and he said, I'm going to tell you something. He said, do not go and buy anything ever again, he said, from people going around trying to sell you something. And he said, especially when they're going to put it in the hands of these financial institutions like this. He said, because he said it's the biggest scam ever going. He said, stay away from it. He said, save up your money and buy your vacuum cleaner out. He said, don't, he said, ever go in with these financial places, he said, because they're nothing but, he said, scams. So, needless to say, I've stayed away from those. HFCs and all that, all kind of bull crap. You know, folks, I'm going to tell you now. One of the richest men in the world, I seen a documentary on him one time, Warren Buffett. And he's one of the richest men in the world. Back when him and his wife first got married, he bought a house. I think it was worth about $35,000. You know, he's still living in that same house today. He never ever upgraded. He raised his family in the house. He's worth billions of dollars, but he never ever upgraded. He's still in that same home. He never ever buys a new vehicle. Any vehicle he always buys is always a second hand. And in the documentary, his daughter was saying, well, Dad, why don't you go buy yourself a new vehicle? And he said, why? He said, you know, time you drive it off the lot, it already decreases in value. And he always drives these older vehicles. When he goes out for lunch, and he could be out with business people or wherever, where he goes for lunch every day is McDonald's. You won't see him in a 5-star restaurant and ordering steak and lobster or fancy meals. He always eats at McDonald's. So folks, I guess what I'm trying to say is if you want to save money, you want to have a few bones in your pocket, a few dollars, we have to be a little bit more like Warren Buffett, right? Don't need to buy the brand new vehicle. You could do a second hand. I'm not only speaking to you folks, I'm speaking to myself too. Because sometimes, less is a lot more. And it's certainly, when you're going through difficulties, it's, and the finances can hit you in the face where you don't got enough to go around. Ooh, makes you think twice, eh? And I know here in this town, Fort McMurray, lots of people, they like to do the bigger homes and newer vehicles every year and stuff like that. And folks, I'm going to tell you that is a lot that leads to divorces and problems in families and all that, is overextending yourself. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever overextended myself. I've always kept it within a reason. I've never ever went out and got 2 vehicle loans for a vehicle. I had the one, I paid off whatever, and then if I needed another, I went and got another. But no, I've always, the last couple of years since my husband had left, because we have no one to fix the vehicle for us, we when the other vehicle got paid off, and then it was starting to give us issues, well then we oh my, am I cracking under ice or what? What's going on here? I feel like I'm about to fall. We end up getting a new vehicle again, which is my truck. I probably see in some of my videos, because we have no one to fix anything for us. And I said to my daughter, I said, we're either going to have a vehicle payment or we're going to be paying through the nose for someone to fix our vehicles. And she elected to just have a newer vehicle, and then you, when something goes wrong, you take it down to the dealership and it's under warranty and they fix it. One way or the other, you're still putting out bills, but I can't imagine 2 or 3 vehicles in the driveway being paid off. It's like if you're in my predicament right now where you got no money coming in, man, that would be really nasty. I'm lucky that myself and my daughter, we had come to arrangement years ago that I would be responsible for the house payment and she would be responsible for the vehicle payment. So that's good. We're not just one person managing. But it's hard enough because our 2 wages here in Fort McMurray don't even come close to the 1 wage that if you work out at Syncrude or Suncor or wherever with one of the oil companies, you make 3 times as much as what we're making. So yeah. But God provides, and like I said yesterday, we just got to rely on Him, and He'll see us through with whatever we're going through. Such a beautiful evening, folks, eh? Really nice. Peaceful, no dog out barking today. Better be careful, he might come out in a bit. I gotta say, it's a real pain in the rump though, not really being able to see really good and having to depend on other people. Oh, and so used to driving my own self around, and now I have to depend on, well, it's been my ex, which I'm really thankful for, that he has taken the time to help me get around and do what needs to be done. Not too many exes out there, I can say, that will do that for their ex-spouse. And my ex-husband, truly, he's one of a kind. He's a gem, you know. We may be divorced and all that, but still family no matter what, right? No matter what. And I'm truly thankful for his help. Not just right now, but anytime he comes down and he fixes anything in the house and all that. I'm truly always thankful. Well, anyway, folks, this is Shelley DeLint with Shelley DeLint Media. I'd like to thank you for watching my videos and hearing my ranting. Like I say in all my videos, you're married, you got your spouse, love one another, forgive one another of any little wrongs that's done. Don't hold it against each other, just keep loving one another. It's the main thing, right? Especially you have children, oh my, it's the best thing for your family. Your family stays together. And I'm going to tell you from experience, when you get older, you might be young listening to this, but as you're older, you really need one another. And I can tell you right now that two together pulling is better than one, right? So protect your marriage at all costs, and protect your kids. There's so much out there, so much nastiness coming for your kids, and the world is just gone crazy with all the nasty BS, that's all I can call it, which they try to put on to our children today in schools. It bothers me that there's so much old garbage chucked at them. Yeah, you know, however a person wants to live, they can live. They can go do their own thing. But they don't have to push it down our throats, and they don't have to push it down our children's throats. Their way of lifestyle, keep it to yourselves. Keep it in your own bedroom. Don't pull it out in the school classrooms and try to turn our kids, whatever. It's disgusting. I seen on Facebook there today, someone had posted a post that the LGBTQ or whatever the world they call themselves, the gay community, are now trying to take the poppy of all things, where men are fallen, who went to defend our country, are now trying to take this red poppy, and the reds is about the blood, you know, that they shed, right? You know, that was lost for these men who went out and served their country. And now you got these wackos that want to turn it, their multicolor rainbow colors. That's the colors they want to make the poppy. I think it's disrespectful, totally disrespectful to our fallen soldiers who have served our country. It's bad enough that you've taken our flag and put it multicolors and all that. It's bad enough that 1 month out of a year you're pushing your ideologies down our throats. Like, we don't need it. Like, you know, like I said, keep it in your bedroom. Keep it in your own self. We don't need it all pushed down our throats, and we don't need drag queens and teaching our children in schools. Whatever you want to do, keep it to yourselves. Don't care. We don't need to hear. Leave God's word, the rainbow, alone, and leave the poppy alone, and our Canadian flags. Our Canadian flag, leave it alone. We don't need your lifestyle imprinted on that. Anyway, that's my rant for today, folks. I hope everyone takes care. God bless to each and every one. And, you know, God loves homosexuals too. I'm not saying he don't. But I will say this, and God hates sin, and homosexuality is a sin. And you can find it in 1 Corinthians. It talks about it, and God will not look upon sin, and he considers homosexuality an abomination. And, you know, Satan is out to deceive and take your life and drag you down to the deepest parts of hell. And if you live that life, that's where people will end up, and, you know, you're just being deceived if you think otherwise. Anyway, folks, this is Shelley DeLint with Shelley DeLint Media. I pray every one of you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you tomorrow in tomorrow's video, God willing. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.